Hello and welcome to week 40, and we're continuing our discussion about Wing Chun forms, and in particular Siu Nim Tau. Last time we were looking at Taan Sau, the first of the structural techniques that are done in the first section of the form. There are two key techniques in this section of the form: Taan Sau, spreading hand, and Fook Sau, subduing hand or controlling hand. The Taan Sau is teaching us to always use the thumb side of the arm and to deflect energy away from the center, so that whether it's, if Wei Chun helps me out with this, whether the pressure of the attack is on the inside, I'm sending it away, such as if a round punch or a straight punch coming from an angle, or if I'm on the outside of that technique, again, using the thumb side of the arm to deflect it or send that energy away. It's one of the two key techniques that make up everything in Wing Chun. Taan Sau being number one, Fook Sau being the second one. Now I'll come back to Fook Sau in a minute, and I'll come back to you in a minute. But to continue the discussion about the Taan Sau before we move on, this Taan Sau is not a combat exercise Taan Sau. This is helping us understand what is the process of developing the habit of keeping the elbows near the center and always sending the Taan Sau in front of our body. When you use Taan Sau, it won't be always here, because oftentimes we're turning the body during the application. The Taan Sau will follow the angle of the moving center line, whereas the attacking hand, whatever it may be, will be following the original center line. Whether it's this side or the other side, the Taan will always follow there. It can't be going at the same target as the attack. But in the form, it is all focused in one direction, straight forward, because that develops the habit of bringing everything in. Fook Sau protects the inside. So Taan Sau is a bit versatile. It can be inside protecting the left, or it can be outside protecting the right. It can be covering a round punch or covering a straight punch. Fook Sau is a little bit different, because Fook Sau, it's designed to train us how to protect the inside position. Taan Sau can't do that. If Wei Chun comes out again, if Taan Sau is on the inside of the arm, it will naturally fail if he comes forward, because it can't stop this from coming in. So I need an answer to that problem. If I'm there, it's okay. Right versus right, Taan Sau can deal with it. But mirror side, that is left versus right, Taan Sau would fail. That will not work. So the answer is to use the inner part of my arm and drive forward. Fook Sau, all right, thanks for that. Fook Sau itself is not an attacking technique. Fook Sau is an idea. The Taan Sau in this first section is an idea. Fook Sau is the same. You're never going to use Fook Sau in a fight. If you do, you're a fool. Quote me on that. Fook Sau is not a technique. You hit somebody like that, you break your hand. It's ridiculous to even consider. Why do we make this shape? Because it turns off the forearm and relaxes us, so that we can focus on getting the elbow where it belongs and turn off the shoulder. The moment you start making a fist or a palm or any other action, you're tightening your arm. So before the beginner gets all tangled up with what hand am I hitting with, we're learning to just get the structure right. Fook Sau is the mother to about 90% of our hand actions. Obviously, Fook Sau can become the punch. It can become Jam Sau. It can become Jam Sau backwards or forwards. It can become Jat Sau. It can become Gan Sau. It can become most of our basic hand actions. Even the Pak Sau action derives from Fook Sau. So when we do Fook Sau, we're training the mother to a whole bunch of other techniques which will become relevant further down the track. And again, it's coaching us in the habit of being able to get our elbows to come near the center to protect the center. More on this in the next one. See you then.